I met somebody and I shared with them about how even when I was homeless in a cardboard box, I always view my cup halfway full rather than halfway empty. And he laughed and smiled and looked at me and said, "Yeah, your cup was halfway full, but it was halfway full with dirty water." He said, "Now what you need to do is take that dirty water, pour it out, and refill it up." If you look at my family, all the Rios are talented because you get into that age where what is it? Where we become rebellion, and at the same time we're trying to find ourselves. I started experimenting with drugs more so, and then I drifted away from my art, so to speak, and drifted towards more of a negative way of living. Living in the streets is a sense of romance to it. You, it's the same feeling I had when I was 11 years old. That sense of freedom, the sense of not being tied to society or not being dictated by society what you could do and what you can't do. Um, but like I said, it's an intriguing dream like. And the reality of it was, I wasn't free. I was a prisoner. My whole life revolved around getting high and running away from me. Well, the minute I wake up in the morning, the first thing on my mind is, how am I going to get my fix? The second thing on my mind is, how am I going to get my fix? Third thing on my mind was, how am I going to get my fix? Here I am, homeless bum. I done lost my wife and kids. I done lost my job. Any car I had, I no longer have. All I have is my cardboard box and how do I get high the next day. That's all I had. She was out there drugging, and she was HIV. And she would tell people, like she worked the avenue, and she let her clients know she was HIV, and so on. So the day that you're talking about was in '92, somewhere around there in Christmas time. The same girl, by that time, we had started a relationship on and off, friendship, relationship. She looked out for me, I looked out for her. And it was Christmas Eve, and I'm in my cardboard box, and she comes by, and she had left earlier that day. She's gonna go out there and make some money and come back. And she comes back and telling me the story, how she got this money. I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't care how she got the money. The fact is, she got money. Now it's Christmas Eve, and we're gonna have a party. Um, and she shared with me afterwards that the finest, the best Christmas she ever had was that night with me in Cardboard Box. Now, mind you, this girl comes from a very wealthy family. I was living in a cardboard box, literally homeless, 10 years. Literally 10 years. From, I think it was from 86 to 96, I was homeless. My last job was HPD. Then I started with, I'll be all right. I'm going to start my own business. And it went well. I was making good money. But everything else, I started getting high again, and all my profits going in my drugging. Before I knew it, I went deeper and deeper into my drugging. Um, Eventually, I started working with a partner out there selling drugs. Eventually, living in the streets, um, burglarizing houses, and mind you, this is went against my relief because now I'm violating other people because I'm going into their house. And at the time, you don't think about it, but that's one of the biggest violations. I mean, for somebody to come home and know that somebody else been through their drawers, somebody has violated their sacred space. And that, I did it in order to survive, but it bothered me. I got my art skills. That's where I first started making money. Started drawing. You bring me a picture, and I'll draw your family and charge you X amount of cigarettes, and that's how I made my living in jail. But I went to one of these new houses because they're constantly moving you around. And my first thing is there an artist in the house? No? Okay, well, I'm here. And this is what I do. And I always kept samples of what I do. So this one guy hires me to do certain portraits of his family. Thing is, he's selling drugs in jail. And he knows I'm a heroin addict. So the first thing he does is come over, drop me a bag. I'm like, okay, this works for me. That was November, the early part of November. The next time he came around with the same thing, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't want it. And that's when I finally made up my mind, no, I'm not getting high anymore. I was detoxing at the time from the methadone. I taking after the methadone, they start giving you sleeping medication. The last pill I took was November 6th. So that's what I call my clean time. People say, oh, how you call it your clean time? You was in jail. Yes, I was in jail, but the drugs were there. And I had access to it. I could draw you a family portrait and get high all night long. But it wasn't working for me no more. I wanted a better way. I deserved a better way. I was not just blessed, but there was a purpose for me. I wasn't on this earth to be Joe the bum all his life. All of these experiences that I went through, I could grab them and remold them.